Okay, welcome back. Uh, New microphone, so this is cool. I sound professional. Um, yeah, so today's February 1st. Last month I did the plank challenge, so it just wrapped up yesterday. So
Very sick.
can I show you? I want to
You're
show
showing me the
you
spreadsheet?
well, I'll just show you like a couple of graphs basically.
Yeah,
So if you don't
do
mind,
it.
just give me a second. I'm sharing the screen now. And can you see that?
Yeah, the
So I
worst
got
guy.
so this is the big graph.
hmm
So we did 28 days of planks to see who could do the most. And there were four people competing. So there's my friend who is the worst guy on this graph. He he did 5 hours and his girlfriend did 5.9. So I just called her I hate her because she beat everyone. Of course, I'm Rao Fantastic because that's who I am. And there was some new guy, so he's the new man's. I just wanted to share
Yeah,
because I love giving them silly names.
yeah. I mean, it's also crazy just to think about how much literal time you've been able to plank. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I calculated in hours. So basically, in 28 days, I planked for 25 days and I took 3 days off. And in total, I planked about 3.5 hours. And the my longest plank was 4.5 minutes. And in one day,
Nice.
the longest plank I did was 23 minutes, basically, like in total.
What are your takeaways from doing this challenge?
The takeaway is when you go really ham for 3 days in a row. So I did, let's see how many minutes, like 15 to 20 minutes every day for 3 days. And then the fourth day, everything hurt so much. So the takeaway is you need a great recovery routine or you need to schedule breaks to recover because
Need those rest days, man.
yeah, but I mean the cool thing I did learn is that if you keep doing planks for a long time you end up compensating. um, so if your left and right side are not equally balanced or flexible or strong, like I had to figure out what the best plank posture was, and by the end I settled on keeping my feet together, um, like
Mm.
touching each other, because I got the best balance that way. But from the beginning, in the beginning, it was like a wider stance, and
Uh-huh.
I had more support then, but that was harder to keep up as the you know as you keep doing
Time
the reps.
progress.
Yeah,
Mhm. Cool. Do you have any
yeah,
ideas what the next challenge will be?
yeah. February is a personal challenge, so it's only me, and
Mhm.
it's a daily 30-minute workout challenge. So every day
Mhm.
for 30 minutes, doing a workout. That does not include running. It does not include cycling, and it does not include walking. Aside from that,
Okay.
anything is game. My idea is to focus on strength training with kettlebells and 5 pound dumbbells, maybe a 10 pound dumbbell. So today I did some stair calf raises. I did squats where I would squat down, pick up the 10 pound dumbbell, squat back up, squat down, put it down, then use the other hand and just repeat that, kind of going like that.
Yeah, okay.
And then a couple of planks in there, some twists. tricep extensions, whatever this thing is, where you hold the dumbbell.
Mhm.
So it's really like I'm not planning on having a set routine. It's it's giving me 30 minutes as a constraint and then the creativity to do whatever exercises come to mind.
Solid, man. Yeah, I think that's it's kind of like what you've been building towards with these challenges, right? Because you've been doing a lot of isolating stuff, and now it's just like you're the composer of your routine over the next month.
Yeah, man, you can still join. Today's the first day.
I mean, I work out every day, so it's
I
okay.
guess you are doing it. Yeah. Yeah. The plan is to do 30 minutes at least and then log the time and then see how the time changes throughout the month.
Nice, nice. Are you planning to increase if you feel good?
I'm
Like
definitely going to
the
increase, uh, but I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to increase it when I feel good, but I also want to increase it when I feel bad, not like painful, but when I don't feel like doing it, that's a great time to increase it because you're forcing yourself to work out, but not to the point where it's going to damage your body.
yeah, you gotta play it safe.
Yeah, so that's just the thing I want to learn over the next month. You know, when do I push myself? What are the consequences? The plan is to do it every day. So there is gonna come a day where I'm gonna want to take a day off. Hopefully, it's not a point where I have to take a day off because if I have to take a day off, I'm gonna take the day off. I don't want to hurt myself. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, cool beans. That'll be yeah. Uh, I wonder the I guess like it's easy to track um just the total time. I mean, if I can suggest something for you that might be interesting, would be to maybe do like a set routine and say, as many, this would be tough, but as many rounds as you can within 30 minutes of say like, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 crunches, 10 tricep dips, and then 10 calf raises, that kind of stuff. And that way you can just count the intervals that you complete, and that way it gives you an estimate of the rep count if you want to track more numbers too.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind. I'll probably do that down the road. Right now, I don't want to do it that way because I don't know. Actually, you're right. I don't really have a good reason not to do it that way. But I've
I
already set the
mean,
rules for this month, so I think I'll probably bring it in the next personal challenge I have. So next month will probably be a competing challenge with my friends, and then the month after that, I'll do that.
sure. Yeah, I mean, whatever works. I mean, all these challenges are just good in principle overall.
Yeah. So what's your workout routine these days?
Uh, so I've just started a new cycle of programming. It's basically going to be 3 days of calisthenics and jogging. So it'll be like a 3K jog as the warm up, do this calisthenics routine, and every other day will be like yoga or stretching and something else during the week, like maybe skating or just like a running day, something like that. And that'll be for the next 3 weeks. Sorry, it's 5 weeks total. I finished week one last week.
Okay. So are you preparing for something or just trying out a new routine?
Trying out a new routine because I have I have some goals. Like I have a few fitness goals with this calisthenic stuff. It's like to do a front lever, to do a back lever, to do a planche, to do an iron cross. Um, but those are everything except the front lever is quite far term and or long term, and then just more running really. So those are the the definitive goals I have at the moment.
Okay. So, mm, what is calisthenics?
It's just doing like body weight exercises.
Oh, okay. Like body squats, lunges, stuff like that.
Yeah, pull-ups, muscle ups, gymnastic routines too.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Uh,
So you finished reading Peaches, right?
yeah, Eat a Peach, David Chang's like memoir.
So what did you get out of that?
Um, it was I wasn't really expecting the content that was in it. It it detailed like David's success and journey to become, an entrepreneur, self-made cook, and he also went into fair detail about his like personal struggle with like depression, thoughts of suicide, and it was yeah, it was pretty heavy at times. Like there was a point where he was talking about his friend Tony, who was like kind of like a beacon for David as he was like going through some rough times. And David, yeah, and David spoke extremely highly of Tony. And um, yeah, I didn't really know who Tony Bourdain was, but then I realized at the end it was Anthony Bourdain. And
That's what I
they,
was thinking. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was just sad, man. It was
Yeah.
it was good to hear that David has done a lot of reflecting, and I feel like this book was a good snapshot of where the man he is and how he's progressed. Um, so I thought that was a pretty cool like time capsule to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Davis. I have a microphone in front of me, so I just feel like an interviewer, but I don't want to be an interviewer. But I just threw an interview question like, so you read this book. What did you get out of it? So sorry about that.
No, no, it's all good, man. I think it's an entirely fair question.
Yeah.
Would recommend the read.
Okay. Um, no, I'm probably not going to read it, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess I have so many books on my list. All right. All right. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, man. The backlog is never gonna really decrease that much. More stuff is just gonna get added.
Yeah. That's why these days I have to be careful about um, what I talk about. Like if I ask about, oh, what did you get out of that book? Chances are you're going to recommend it. So the more I talk about books, the longer the list gets that I want to read. But I just like talking about books, so it's one of those catch 22 things.
Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have more perspectives and broaden your horizon.
Yeah, that's true. So how far are you into The Expanse, the new season?
Ty and I just watched episode 4. We're watching episode 5 tomorrow.
Okay, man, that's
Mm.
it's so the after show of The Expanse is hosted by Wes Chatham and Ty Frank, who's
Mhm.
the author of the book series and also writes for the TV show. So they call that podcast Ty and That Guy.
It's
And
an
you
actual podcast, or
That's
is
what
it
they
just
call
like
it, yeah.
okay, Ty and
They have
that
a
guy?
website. So it's funny because I watched the show and then I watched Ty and That Guy, and I just heard you say you and Ty watched the episode. So I was just thinking, that's a coincidence.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. I'll let my roommate know because I'm not sure if he realizes that's the pronunciation of the author's name.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm all caught up. Wednesday is the last episode, so I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah.
Um, they changed some things from the book. It's
Uh-huh.
basically the same story, but like some of the characters, like drummer is the character in the series.
Yep.
this drummer in the show is completely different than drummer in the books, basically. So
Ah, I see.
in the show, they introduced her earlier than the books. So
Uh-huh.
she took on, I
A
think
bunch
she's
of
an
other roles.
amalgamation of different characters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I heard when I was doing some reading about season 3 as well. That makes sense. They had to, you know, mix some characters in there, change the timelines.
Yeah. It's a pretty great show, man.
Yeah, for sure. But it's nearing the end. What are you planning to move on to after this?
Well, I have WandaVision going on.
Oh
I,
yeah.
5 more episodes coming out once a week, I think.
Mhm.
Let's see. I started watching the Fast and the Furious movies.
Okay.
So I've watched the first 6. I have to watch 2
Wow.
more and then rewatch the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off movie.
Ah, true, true.
So
What's
I,
yeah, what's oh sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I don't know what it is about those movies. I just love them because I don't know, man. All the car scenes, it's like I don't know what's going on, but just fast moving cars, and then they change the scenes and the camera and the stunts. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the action sequences are just like easy to digest and like visually satisfying. I guess like they're satisfying in a visual, like auditory, cinematic sense. So there's nothing too nuanced about it, like say like Tenet, where like the plot's like convoluted and everything's like complex and stuff.
I haven't seen it yet.
Same here, but that's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's going on. I'm just waiting to finish The Expanse before I move on to season 2 of Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that's pending.
Man, you're just demolishing all this Marvel content.
I know. I started, so I want to finish. I mean, I don't like leaving things hanging. Yeah.
Do you believe in the sunk cost fallacy?
It's a great question. I am following that in this case.
But it's
Um,
also like you enjoy this stuff too, right? You wouldn't,
yeah.
yeah, it's not like you want to suffer as you watch movies and more Marvel content. You're genuinely interested.
Yeah, there are shows that I have started and I tried to finish, but I just lost interest. And usually, when I lose interest, I'll come back to it later and check in and see if I'm still interested. But there's one show that I can remember that I was like, no, I'm cutting
No
it off.
more.
It's still on my list. I haven't gone back to it a second time.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Um, yeah, so today was a busy day. What did I do? Wrote that blog post about the plank challenge,
Hmm.
and the podcast game is kind of getting back into shape. Doing this one, got one coming out next week.
Right
So
on.
yeah, that's going well. I've almost hit my target of 20 episodes. So you're going to be number 19.
Damn, dude. Are you gonna do any like celebration for like these milestones, like 50th episode, 100th episode kind of deal?
I mean, no one's asking for it, so I feel like it would be kind of. It's like you're just congratulating yourself. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I is there is there something wrong with that?
I don't know. Is there?
No. I mean, I think if you want to take pride in something you do, that's fine.
Hmm.
You do what you want.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, but if you don't want to do anything, that's totally fine too. Not saying that you should do something.
Yeah. Well, the original plan was do 20, then take a break. So
Hmm.
I gotta stick to that plan. I'll probably take at least a month break from releasing, but I don't know if I'll take. I should probably take a break from recording then too, just to kind of reset.
Mhm.
So I think I'll reset and then figure out what to do next. I do want to do more, so I'll have to figure out the next milestone and how to change it up.
So what would you, or I guess that's part of the reset. So next after next week, you'll be on a break and there'll be some downtime for you to compose your next steps, kind of deal.
Yeah, so this is 19, so I have to schedule another one, record it. Hopefully I'll get all of them. Hopefully I'll get number 20 out this month. If not February, then March, and then
Mm.
a month off from there. Approximately a month, it might be two, who knows. So
Mhm.
yeah, I like doing it. So I do want to do it. At this time, getting an in-person studio is not really a good idea because you can't meet up with people. But
Mm.
I do want to do a test setup. Maybe ask someone from my family, can we do a mock-up of a recording? I have another microphone, so we can test it out. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So what I don't know is if I use two microphone inputs, how am I gonna remove the second microphone picking up what the first microphone is only supposed to pick up? So if you have two people in a room, I don't want both microphones to pick up both people, you know?
Yeah, I think you might need some hardware for that, right?
Yeah, I have to look into that.
I see, I see. Cool. Dang, you're getting serious. Getting a soundboard and all. Or
Well,
maybe it's something not maybe it's not that complicated, but I have no idea.
no, I bet it's not complicated. It's just something about putting in your reps of recording things that makes
Hmm.
me more likely to research it and actually go through with it. At the beginning is that was a question even before I did the first one with you. But what's the point of
Hmm.
researching it if you don't actually record anything? So now that I will have 20 in the pocket, then it's like, all right, well, I have to step up my game somehow.
Right on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else is going on?
Uh, let's see. Signed up for Headspace. Got a
What is
free
that?
2 week. It's like a meditation app. So I'm going through the 2 week trial to see how much content I can crunch through. Um, yeah, like quite a few dozens. They have dozens and dozens of different courses. I'm taking like a focus one right now, and then trying to see if I can crunch through some other ones. Just curious to see what other like guided meditation procedures are like.
Okay. Have you
Yeah.
used it yet?
I did 20 minutes this morning, and then I used it like sparingly in the free mode, like I think 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've,
How was it?
I've, uh, I mean, it was just the beginning of their, how many weeks was it? Like, I think it's a 3 week course, but maybe I'll try and get it done in like a week. Anyways, it was going over like very basic stuff that uh, I've seen covered in Sam Harris's course. So nothing new there. But I mean, it's solid intro stuff, that's for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to get into meditation again, but I'm hoping this February challenge will loosen me up and you know get me able to
I
sit
mean,
cross-legged.
true, true. Yeah. Speaking of meditation, um, what are your thoughts about like doing a meditation retreat? Have you ever thought about it?
Well, it depends. Are you, what my understanding of a meditation retreat is you go somewhere with people who are kind of trained in that area. It's a pretty vague description of what it means to be trained in that area, but suppose you went to
Mm,
a Buddhist monastery. Uh,
mm,
I don't know too much about it. I've been to one Buddhist monastery for a talk, but I haven't stayed for a retreat. And that was just outside of Perth, Ontario, a few
mm.
years ago. I don't remember the name, but yeah, if the goal is to go there and, you know, for what I remember is at the monastery, I think they provide regular meals and you can go in there and do your meditation stuff, I guess. The more and more I explain it, the more I'm realizing how little I know about what they do there. So let me just backtrack a little bit. So let's say you go to a monastery for a retreat. If the retreat is just you in a room meditating, and then you go out for meal times and stuff, and you provide chores and you work in the kitchen or you do cleaning, you do typical stuff that you do there. That's my idea of it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, basically. Except in this case, it'd be out in the wilderness. So I don't know what. Maybe it'd be kind of the same level. So there wouldn't be like any fancy cooking, but there'd be enough sustenance to get you going as you're just like meditating in nature or like a cabin or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mentioned that because I was talking to a friend about like meditation and shrooms, and he later sent me this like site that talked about this one particular group that he was considering for guided meditation here in Ontario. So I'll probably do that with him later on. But yeah, I was just curious what's your perspective on it?
Is the retreat guided or is it self retreating? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like a mixture of both from what I've read. Like there will be some guidance about for what you should be able to expect, what kind of uh, framework and mindset you should have going into it. But otherwise, it's like you're meditating for hours by yourself.
Hmm.
So the table setting is probably guided a little bit. But the bulk of it will be solo.
Well, I have experience meditating by myself. So at my last job, one day I took the day off just to meditate, and
Mm-hmm.
I spent about 8 hours trying to meditate. And just toward the end of the day, I got like 5 seconds of time where it felt like something different, and it was like I wasn't aware of the time for 5 seconds. So it took me
Mm-hmm.
8 hours to get 5 seconds of what something interesting, something new. So it's a lot of work to
Mm-hmm.
get to something, and that's an isolated experience. I only did that once in a group setting. The only time I've had a meditative atmosphere is when I went to yoga classes in London. Toward the end of the yoga
Mm-hmm.
class, they do a pose where you lie down on your back with your arms.
Shavasana.
Yeah. So and usually we'd put some pillows underneath the knees so that you're not straining your back. And at that time, the instructor would talk you through relaxing your body. So they would say, if your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, just let it relax. If you're holding any tension, let it relax. So that would be 2 or 3 minutes, and that was useful. But even at that time, I was only focused on myself, so I don't know what it's like to have a group meditative experience. Um, I think it would be cool to do the retreat, but I probably wouldn't do it now because I'm not really sure whether like what I want to get out of it. I'm not at a point where it's like you have to do it because you're you're not sure what's going on in your life. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if I would do it, but I think if you're interested, I'd be curious to hear how it went.
Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to deal with life and process things. I guess meditation is a useful tool for some people, not really useful for others. So, yeah, I it'd be interesting to hear the perspectives of these people as well that like take it more seriously. As long as they're not, I don't know. I guess it'd be okay if like they were more spiritual. I'm just a little skeptical if they're just a little too much in the Kool-Aid, you know?
The instructors or the participants?
Everyone, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing because I really got into it at a point in my life where I was questioning a lot of things. So when you question everything, you, it's hard. It's hard to find some kind of balance or routine to fall back on from your day to day. Like for
Mhm.
example, if you're always if you're always doing something like let's say you're writing or you're physically active every day, you're using your body to do stuff, like you don't really question everything because you don't really have time to sit and just get lost in thought. But anyway, the point is that um, you got to know what you want to get out of it.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to say it.
for sure. Yeah, I think there's definitely things to be gained with being like spontaneous and not really having um, like a focused intent in doing stuff. But there's also more meaningful gains to be had. I feel like if you planned accordingly, like anything in life, really. I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty abstract. I'm having a tough time explaining it because I can find faults in my argument. But yeah, um, basically, I'm trying to say like if you're going into it being ready to be led in any direction, that can very likely end up poorly, depending on how much Kool-Aid they're drinking or what they're promoting. If they
Yeah,
truly are trying to give you tools to use in your life, that sounds like it would be a good thing because they will teach you practices that you can use moving forward.
yeah. It's in that specific example. It's like the difference between gurus and like people that genuinely want to teach you something useful.
Mm, okay. Yeah. 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 At this time, I'm not really meditating. My form of meditation is close my eyes and focus on my breathing, and then just kind of watch my thoughts like a movie on the screen
Mhm.
and just let them flow by. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, uh, any any effort is good effort in that respect, as long as you're putting time towards it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, it's already February.
Yeah,
I hope to
yeah.
be
The
able
first
to
one.
get out and meet people by the summer.
Yeah, it's tough to say though because vaccines are already behind. We're so far on the list. At least case numbers are going down, but it'll take time.
Yeah. So, how are you handling um, life these days? You know, you're still good. Like, I mean, you have a roommate, so you guys work out together, you do stuff together, so that's always good.
Yeah, yeah. So I think by all metrics, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, I mean, work is good, workouts are good, social is good, mental game is good. Yeah, so I was talking with a friend about like my January challenge, right? Like I think I did like 80% of my outdoor workouts were shirtless. And so the average temperature was probably like -1, maybe average wind speed was like 10 kilometers an hour. Um, I was telling him this, and he said that it was kind of like you're callousing your mind in the most brute force method available, which is true, right? This is along the lines of what David Goggins was saying, but he countered that and said that the way he, I guess, that way that he meditates or like tries to train a mental edge in his case would be just to do bouldering problems. So you've climbed before or not?
Yeah, I joined you at the bouldering gym a couple times in Waterloo.
Oh yeah, yeah, at the pack. Right, right. So just like that, it's that style of climbing called bouldering where you just have short problems, usually less than 4 or 5 meters or so. Actually, it could be a lot higher depending on the gym. That you're there on the wall. You can fall off, that's a nice thing about it. But if you persist through it, it's like uh, you're dealing with finger fatigue, arm fatigue, your legs are tired, your core is tired. So in that respect, it's like a controlled challenge that you can inflict upon yourself whenever you want. But what that point is that like I guess you don't have that like sense, you don't have that because you can take a break at any time. It doesn't feel like the situation is as motivating or as heavy, I should say, as like trying to do like a marathon or trying to finish a 70-minute workout in like -8.
Yeah, those are two different challenges. One, which is the shirtless workouts in the cold, is your training your body to respond to I mean, for lack of a better word, I'll call it a threat. Like extreme cold is a threat for your body. So your body, I haven't done the shirtless workouts, but when it's really cold, my mind is like, okay, I should get inside. I should shorten my walk. This run is too long, signals like that. So you're training yourself to keep doing it despite that. So your body knows that, it builds in that experience, which is brute force. But the bouldering example, you're using your body to accomplish a goal, which is you want to move from one spot to another spot. So even your mind is engaged in achieving that task. So yeah, I think problem solving tasks are, um, I don't know if I would say they're easier, but I feel like you're easily engaged personally. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going out to work out at a soccer field, and this is a hypothetical example, so I can't say it works for sure. But let's say I want to take a kettlebell from one end of the field to the other end and then back again. So that's like a physical thing. It's like, oh, I have to lift this, I have to move it there, and then I have to drop it and then move it back. Just thinking about it, I feel like I could do that. But if I tell myself I'm gonna go out for a 30-minute run, there are so many ways I can just stop doing that. I can convince myself I don't have to do it. I can say, my leg doesn't feel good. But if the goal is to move a weight from one end to the other end, it's like, well, I think I can do that. I don't know if that's just a personal thing or a general rule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's not it's easy to see how it it's like more motivating to have like a given task. Like you want to solve a problem on the wall, you want to pick up some weight and move it in an interesting way. um, Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. So why the shirtless workouts?
Well, it's at least for two reasons. I think I had a third, but one, it's like, can because one, can I train myself mentally to endure more suffering
Hmm.
that I choose for myself? And that way, like, if I have emotional stress that I need to deal with, I can just remember like these times where I was out in the cold for hours and continue to work out because I simply willed it to be so. So there's that. There's um, and that's the same thing as like running for longer or paddling for longer, right?
Hmm.
It's just like willing the body to go further, past your your general sense of fatigue and desire to stop. Then there's like the aspect of trying a meditation or like a breathing exercise to just like warm my body. Um, so for the most part, I think that works well. Um, I haven't researched it too much. I'm just trying to develop a methodology as I go through it on my workouts. But I think it's been okay so far. And then I guess the third thing would be, sure, I develop a cold tolerance. My body gets used to the cold. That's the third thing, but it's the least important thing.
Okay, a very practical question. Whenever I run out in the cold, uh, my face dries up. So, did you get any dry skin, and how did you deal with that?
Um, the thing is, I'm pretty fortunate that my skin is very robust. So no, I didn't get dry skin.
Man, lucky.
Yeah. One thing that may have helped, and I would suggest if you do it, is wear a mask when you run too. And that way it circulates warm air on your face, and a good chunk of your face is covered as well. So you don't have to worry about like your mouth or your nose getting too chapped or like too dry and cracked as you run or work out outside, because your breathing will just warm up that area of your face.
So you wore a COVID mask while running?
Yeah, while running, while
Oh,
working out.
oh, dang. Yeah, I mean that makes sense because when you're outside, you can feel the warm air from your breath, so that keeps
Yeah,
you warm. But
yeah. There's
yeah,
that, and like unless you're genetically inclined, like your ancestors were from like a Nordic country, you don't really have like a long nose to properly warm up the cold air that you take into your lungs. So taking that cold air as you're exercising can actually be damaging.
interesting. Well, I am from a tropical place, so it's probably not a good idea to go outside. But
Yeah, I think for both of us, you and
yeah,
if you're interested, that's probably the way to go.
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I just have to get out there, and my body's just got to be like, I just gotta. I don't know, man. When it's really
Yeah,
cold, yeah, it hurts to breathe. Like -10, -12.
yeah. I mean, it's it's not that bad when it's like that temperature. I'll tell you, the wind chill makes it worse. Like the worst day so far was when it was snowing, it was 0 degrees, and it was like 30-kilometer-hour winds. And I was out
Mm.
there. It was, yeah, the wind just killed me. Like I was concerned that this was a mistake. Like after like I finished my run and I was about to start my workout and the wind picked up and I was like, oh man, this might actually be a bad idea. I might want to stop this right now. But luckily the
Yeah,
wind wasn't consistent in that.
yeah. Man, that's cool. Yeah. I really like that you're trying all these new things with workouts. It's a good way to push the limits of your body, or at least test the limits of your body. So I'm into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same motivation as your challenges too. You gotta push yourself, establish new limits, see how far you can go.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I was just watching a Goggins Instagram video today. He's in the gym with Cam Hanes, the hunter,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they're
Uh,
doing 5 or 6 exercises. I don't know what it is. The guy's just motivating himself. You know, I feel like
yeah.
that's something that's. I mean, I didn't hear a lot of that at the gym. Most people are not yelling at themselves while they're working out. There's always
Yeah.
a handful of people who are very loud and they want to get the rep, or maybe they're doing a heavy squat or something very heavy where you need that.
Yeah.
But because I want to try running and just yelling, I feel like I would just run faster.
Yeah, because there's something different about like internalizing your thoughts, but it's another thing when you actually like say it out loud and you hear it yourself.
I think it's also the just the sound of you creating like a growl or like a cry, like a cry for action. It just reverberates in a way that this is all speculative, but it feels like that just gives you that extra energy.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely done it before. A lot of my teammates have done it before in the past. You see a lot of powerlifters do too. Yeah, like that, professional athletes do it all the time. So it's uh it's like a cathartic release in
Yeah,
some respects.
yeah, for
Or
sure.
like it's like a motivation. It's like let's fucking go kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah. Which is it's so weird because that's that's not how I do things. I just want that to be a useful tool when I'm working out. But aside from that, like if I'm at a meeting at a job, it's just not going to work for me. I'm not really one like, let's go, let's get this meeting finished. Come on, guys, we got to meet the targets here. This customer support is weak. We got to improve. Like that's just not it.
Hey, I
I've
mean,
never, yeah.
maybe you could try it and see what happens. You never know.
No, 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 no. Because like when you have that as your lead of how you talk, people look to you and you got to just keep leading. I'm more of like a just like watch and
Mm,
observe, see how things are, see what I can do, where can I fit in. But I do know the drawback of that approach is that it's harder to be vocal because people don't expect it from you.
yeah, that's true. So you gotta. It's a tough balance because I'm also erring on the side of just being more like asking questions, analytical, not really leading too much. Um, so it's tough, but I guess with more mileage in that case too, you just like hit your stride and see which way works out best for you.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it.
Fair enough, man.
All right, man. Number 19 in the books. And any last thing you want to say?
Yeah, I'm excited for the both of us, and I'm excited to see what happens with Raw Talk in the future.
Okay.